What's going on, guys? TTL here. Today we're going to be going over my top 5 MLB props for today. This is for pickup apps like Underdog. You guys can use code TTL on Underdog to get up to $1,000 deposit bonus on your first deposit, and you'll get a free month of VIP. We've been crushing it in VIP every single day, day in and day out. Less than $1 a day. I highly recommend you guys sign up. You can use WAP or Patreon. Both links are in the description. A review of yesterday's picks. These were the 5 free picks that we had yesterday. Sal Frelick cashed in his first at bat. It was the first at bat for the Brewers yesterday. We love to see that. Mark Canha under 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs cashed. Will Wagner cashed with ease. And then we had Ryan McLain, who went over just barely. Very unfortunate there. And then Sean, I don't know what was going on with Bro yesterday. He just could not get a strikeout to save his life. That one's on me for sure. But 3 out of 5 isn't terrible. At least we hit more than half of them. Let's bounce back today though. Long term, 60% hit rate is going to be very profitable, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for those 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 days. We're wanting to sweep the days. So let's bounce back today on the free picks. Yesterday, the sportsbook bets for the VIP went crazy. We actually went 3-0 for the free sportsbook bets in Discord for the free ones. And then we went, what is this? 6-1 for the VIP ones, and we actually went up around 7.9 units from the VIP sportsbook bets. And this is honestly just the top 5 or 6 sports bets from the betting predictor on predictive profits, by the way, which is just crazy. But I'll have those posted today in VIP, and I may have a free video for you guys today for the sportsbook bets. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and get that posted before MLB gets started today. But let's get into the props. So let me go ahead and open up my Discord on my second monitor and let's get into it. So starting off, we're going to take Clay Holmes. We're going to take his under 5.5 hits allowed. This is a 0.83x currently on Underdog. This is versus the Orioles, and I love this prop today. So when we take a look at predictive profits, you guys can use code TTL50 and get half off your first week or month at predictive profits. But we're going to see right here the hits allowed at 5.5. It's minus 175 on the under, and it has a projected hit rate of 89.83%, which is something we love to see. When we take a look at this, we can see he's gone under this in 4 out of his last 5, and those 4 games were straight as well. Over his last 10, he's went under in 8 of 10, 80%. And in 2025, he's went under in 13 of 17 games, a 76.5% hit rate on the under 5.5 hits allowed this season. Now, he's went over in 4 games. Those were versus the Marlins, the Cardinals, the Pirates, and then the Rockies. But the last 4, he's went under versus the Rays, the Braves, the Brewers. So he's went under versus some really good batters. And today he's against the Orioles, who are pretty good batters themselves. But when we look at the lineup versus Clay Holmes, we can see Cedric Mullins, 3 hits and 8 at-bats. Colton Cowser, 0-4. Gunnar Henderson, 1-7. Jackson Holiday, 1-1. Westberg, 0-3. Laureano, 1-3. Urias, 3-12. O'Hearn, 1-2. O'Neill, 0-4. They do not have very good OBPs versus Clay Holmes, and we actually have him projected all the way down at 2.45 hits allowed in today's matchup. And I mean, if he can give up just 2 or 3 hits allowed, I will love this prop today. And projected hit rate of almost 90% for the recommended under. So this one's just a no-brainer for me. Let's lock in Clay Holmes under 5.5 hits allowed. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take Seth Lugo. We're going to take Seth Lugo under 2.5 earned runs allowed. This one, same exact multiplier as Clay Holmes on Underdog, a 0.83x. And when we take a look at this, he's versus the Pirates, by the way, which I love. But when we take a look at this, we can see Seth Lugo earned runs allowed at 2.5. It's minus 160 odds. The under is projected to hit at a 76.48% hit rate. I'll go ahead and filter this from highest to lowest hit rate so it's always on the top as well. And when we take a look at this, he's went under in 5 straight games. He's went under in 8 of his last 10. The 2 games he went over were versus the Red Sox and versus the Tigers. And then in 2025, he's went under in 11 of 16 games, a 68.8% hit rate on the under. The other games, the Guardians, that makes sense. The Yankees, that makes sense. And then the Tigers again. So honestly, I'm loving this. The Pirates batters, we can take a look at them versus Seth Lugo. This is BVP data, and we can see 0 in 4, 2 in 11, 2 in 6, 0 in 3, 0 in 3, 0 in 2, 0, 0, 0, 1 in 1, and then 7 in 15. So Tommy Pham and then Brian Reynolds are pretty much the only 2 batters that are actually doing good versus Seth Lugo. So I'm loving the under 2.5 earned runs allowed here. The projection is a 1.68 with a projected hit rate of 76.48%. Loving this prop today. Let's go ahead and lock it in. Next up, we have Walker. I don't even want to butcher his first name, so we're just going to say Walker. Over 11.5 pitching outs. And now this is the most juiced line I am taking today, and typically I don't take lines like this, but I mean for a 0.74x, it takes our slip from a 2x to a 3x over a 3x. So the extra multiplier for a prop like this one that I think is pretty free, I'm willing to take. And when we take a look at this on predictive profits, we can see the pitching outs at 11.5. It's minus 180 on sports books, with the over projection at a 82.93% projected hit rate. And when we take a look, he's went over this in 4 of his last 5, 8 of his last 10. This season, he's only played 8 games. He's went over in 7 of those. Last season, he went over in 80%, 12 of 15. I just don't think he's going to have any issues. Now, I do have his over 2.5 hits allowed as a goblin on Prize Picks, but I'm loving the over 11.5 pitching outs, and I do think he can get 4 innings. It's only 4 innings. That's all he needs. So I'm loving this. We can take a look. 0.66, 0.66, 0.4, 0.16, 0.5, 0.08, 0.33, 0.4, 0.5, 0.3. So I'm loving his over 2.5 hits allowed as a goblin, but I also do think he can go 4 innings, and I don't think I think he can still give up 3, 4, maybe even 5 hits allowed and still go 4 innings. 4 innings is just such a low amount. So let's go ahead and lock in Walker over 11.5 pitching outs. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take Matt McLain. We're going to take his under 1.5 total bases. This prop is a 0.82x. He's versus the Marlins. And when we take a look, we can see it's minus 160 on sports books. The under has a projection of 75.96%. He's against Yuri Perez. He's went under in 4 of his last 5. He's went under in 7 of his last 10. And he's went under in 76.3% of games this season. 61 of 80 games this season. Yuri Perez is allowing 2 earned runs allowed per game, around 3 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. And we have Matt McLain projected for 0.94. So either 0 or 1 total base today in this matchup. So I'm loving this today. When we take a look, we can probably find a Yuri Perez prop, possibly. Let me lower some of this. It doesn't look like it has any on the board right now, actually. But I was going to show you the BVP data as well for Matt McLain. But when we take a look at Kyle Schwarber, that's going to be our last pick of the day. Kyle Schwarber over 0.5 bases. This is a 0.87x. And when we take a look, we can see around a 70.3% projected hit rate. It's minus 150 on sports books. And we can see he's went over this in 5 straight games. He's went over this in 8 of his last 10. And in 2025, he's went over this in 68.2% of games. He's against Robbie Ray today, who gives up 1.78 earned runs allowed per game, 4.3 hits allowed. So he gets 6.5 strikeouts, and he gives up 2.17 walks allowed. We have Kyle Schwarber projected for 1.4 in this matchup. I'm loving Kyle Schwarber on the over today. A 70% hit rate for a 0.87x. I will definitely take that. And we can take this 5 pick. You can mix them up into 3 picks, mix them up into 2 picks. Do it however you guys are wanting to do it. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments, are you guys interested in those sportsbook videos? Basically what I would do is I would go through every single game of the day, and I would give you guys my top bet of the day for every single game. So let me know if your opinions on that, if that's something you're interested in, or if you just want pick-em apps. Please, I would really appreciate if you commented and let me know. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. We're pushing for 21,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the love, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.